Alrighty, guys. Good evening. Welcome in. Sorry for the very late start. I had a very busy day. I have another busy day tomorrow. Wake and then funeral and then marching rehearsal. But how's everyone doing? Charlotte, congrats on first. Enjoy the points. Dragon, welcome in open stream to have it open for when you go live and see when live I'm in. Yeah, I just got on. Bradford World Cup. Oh, I haven't been paying attention to World Cup. You know who lost today? Alex Yala. So I'm sad about that. I think she was in the final 16 at Wimbledon or something like that. That's supporting England and Egypt. All the host nations were eliminated on the same phase. Daito, welcome in. How you doing today? Scared for Egypt. They're going up against Argentina tomorrow. Reading for Egypt because I like Yu-Gi-Oh. I didn't know that was in. Oh, I don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh. So, Ghana, Morocco, supporting all the African nations. If I say also one player committed actual crimes. Uh-oh. Nancy, welcome in. How's it going? Welcome. What did you say was the problem with like going from like G sharp to F sharp for you? Is it just because you don't know how to do to switch pinkies? I got the link for a special conversation. Want to watch it? Yes, but not right now. I got to do my dailies first. But yeah, so the wake was today, funerals tomorrow morning, and then I have marching band rehearsal tomorrow evening. And between then, I have to copy a whole bunch of music parts. Yes, you gotta learn to switch from your right pinky to your left pinky. What do you mean by funeral? So usually when someone dies, there's like a funeral to celebrate their life and then basically lead up to their interment. Use the same pinky for F sharp and G sharp. You need to learn how to use both. So F sharp is the far left pinky on the left side. So G sharp can only be played on the right pinky. You guys can't see me yet. G sharp can only be played on the left pinky, or sorry, the right pinky. So you got to learn how to use. I know what it is. Yeah, you got to learn. Even if you're used to playing F sharp on one side, you got to know both for when you have to do those like flipping from one side to the other. That's one of the good things about clarinet players and to some extent saxophone players, is that you have options on both sides, and even though you might favor one more than the other, you know how to basically kind of switch between them. So that's why it makes it so quote-unquote easy on clarinet versus other instruments. Not your family? My aunt. One of my closer aunts because they lived nearby when I was growing up. But yeah, today, because again, late start and short stream, I have to wake up at like 7. So it's 10:42 p.m. already. I already printed the parts. I just have to go in tomorrow and print them once I get to work. Or copy them, I mean. But yeah, and I organize them by instrument now, so it's not like here's all the part 1 parts for everyone, then here's all the part 2 parts for everyone, and then everyone has to go in and like, all right, where's my part 1, where's my part 2? I put everything together by instrument. So if you're, for example, a bass clarinet player, all movements will be attached together and stapled together. You can take out the staple and then put it all out for you, but all movements in one packet. I figure that's like, you know, Beam was supposed to go live July 1st. Then I asked them on Thursday, hey, what's going on with Beam? They said, okay, we're going to launch it on Monday. And I was like, cool. Then I can use it for next week's rehearsal. I've been refreshing all day today and still enjoying it. So I reached out to them this evening as well, around like maybe 7 p.m., 8 p.m. I was like, hey, what's going on with Beam? Actually, I think it was 8 p.m. because I remember I was leaving the wake. I was like, what's going on? They're like, so we're sorry. The earliest it'll launch is later this week. At the latest, early next week. And I'm like, all right, thank you for letting me know at least. So now I know that I don't have to be refreshing or waiting tomorrow. I just have to go ahead and print them for 1 more week. Because I want to incorporate some of our pep tunes, especially some of the newer and or harder pep tunes, into our warm-up routine. Because otherwise, my coworker's not going to focus on those. Because we have to work on the show stuff. So, but if we don't work on the harder or newer pep tunes, then we're never going to do them, and we're just going to end up doing the same pep tunes for the next 20 years. And I'm like, I add these pep tunes for a reason. These take me hours to put in. Let's work on them. Something on the new map I want you to see, but it also should be recorded. Okay. Let me do my dailies first for everything, and then we'll dive in to some Genshin. Sorry, also I got a sad update. Oh, congrats on the 15 stream streak. Updates, my dad's now on the verge of selling the house, so they weren't able to kind of figure that out. So sorry. Thank you. Saw Supergirl today? Like the show or the movie? I can safely say that I was wrong. How was it? Continuing with the DCU, but I'm slightly confused about what is and what isn't canon. Everyone is. You're not alone. Supergirl did make it seem like you didn't have to see previous DCU stuff to understand it. I was a big fan of Supergirl both in Smallville and on the separate, like their own show for the Arrowverse, which was Supergirl. Obviously, Melissa Benoist being in the starring role in her own show, the character was fleshed out a lot more than Laura Vandervoort in Smallville. But I did enjoy both iterations. Don Plays What, welcome in. How you doing today? I'm trying to have a section, a music sectional. That's good. The parts didn't change too much, but there were some parts that we talked about like in rehearsal last time. I'm like, hey, we're gonna change this. Hey, this sounds better. Let's do this. So those have changed in the music. So now it's like you don't have to rewrite it in. It's been edited in the music. The biggest two changes is I added an intro to 2. Because right now, if you go from 1, which is like very celebratory and very happy sounding, and 2 is like meant to be like very sad and whatnot, that's a very abrupt transition. So I decided, okay, we're gonna add in, because we've been meaning to, I added a transition to make it kind of depict like something happening, something bad, and then we get into 2. So that's the kind of to ease that transition a bit more. And then there were some counter melodies that were left out of the arrangement that I added back in, mostly trumpet stuff, but. So aside from that new part in the beginning of 2, I don't know if your part changed much. It's very good. I like it so much better than Superman. I still haven't seen the newer Superman movie, but I'll get to it at some point. I'm just super behind on my shows and movies. Like I just finished another episode of Wonder Man. It's like the first thing I've watched in the past like half year. One episode of Wonder Man. It was the one where I'm not gonna go into details because I don't want to spoil anyone, but because I think I'm like halfway through Wonder Man. All I'm gonna say is Josh Gad. That's all I'm gonna say. Sentai Sama, welcome in. How you doing today? The movie might just have to do it outside because I'm having work done in my house for this weekend with a new bathroom. Yeah, when I was back in high school, I did sectionals. My parents, I don't know if we call it basement. It's more like a split level, like halfway underground kind of thing. But anyway, did the music part there, and then we actually went out into the yard and then did some marching fundamentals. Because it's real easy to measure out, like, you know, a 5-yard or a 10-yard like field and all that stuff. Also, like that his Supergirl movie explains why when you saw her at the end of Superman, she's a wastoid. I don't know what that means. Good news is that you don't have to have seen the James Gunn Superman to know what goes on in Supergirl. Do we know that going in? Because I feel like that's part of the poor marketing that I think these universes have. Like, is that something you need going in? Because like people, before a Marvel movie comes out, people are always asking, okay, what do I need to see? Do I need to have seen everything? Like, for example, Fantastic Four, you could go in without having seen anything. People didn't know that. Oh, heavy drinker. Okay. No, I didn't know that. I don't drink. Sure, either tomorrow before rehearsal or after rehearsal, I'm going to talk with the other clarinet leaders about having a sectional, but the issue is I'm going to have to use my clarinet because I have no idea what's going on with my bass clarinet. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't know anything going on with that. I think that's more Cozy's end, but he will not be in. So I'm in charge again. Are we going outside tomorrow? Probably. Let me check the weather. Probably. See, it makes sense to go out sooner when there's light, but I generally prefer going out when it's cooler. It's not gonna make much of a difference tomorrow, though. Like when we start, it's gonna be about 83 degrees. Hey, that's someone's favorite number. Not mine. But when we finish, it's only gonna drop down to 79, 78. But yeah, 79. Let's see here. How's Genshin? Also, if you're asking where I'm moving to once my dad sells the house, gonna move to Nevada. Yeah, you mentioned about Vegas, or at least that county. What the Fae? Are you pulling on the banner, by the way? The Fae banner? You don't need to have seen... Okay. But, like, in terms of the marketing, do we know that going in? Or is that something you don't realize until after having seen it? Because I feel like that's part of the poor marketing for all of these types of shared universe movies. I don't want to be... let's see. Gonna cry. I don't want to. Because it's not fun. Because I feel left out. I don't have an issue, but I just don't have an instrument, so it makes me a bit sad. Okay. Well, you have the instrument for playing, right, for music-wise, but for marching, we just got to figure that out. So what is the issue? You're just waiting for it to come in? Who has it right now? Is it being repaired or just being cleaned, or what's going on? Like, is it just the routine annual checkup, or is it like being repaired for some reason? And do you know where? Hey, Don plays what? Congrats on the 5-stream streak. Enjoy the channel points. Marketing doesn't seem to suggest that you need to have seen those things. Right, but people will assume with anything of these shared universe type movies, people will always assume that you have to see stuff beforehand. I'm wondering, have they made any attempt to make it clear to moviegoers, hey, you don't need to see anything? Because I'll tell you right now, if it's not clear, there's a lot of people that are going to be like, oh, I haven't seen Superman yet. I'm going to skip seeing Supergirl in theaters, which I'm sure is going to affect box office numbers. Yeah, I don't know. Telling me anything. We're getting a new one, but they haven't told you anything. Okay, so getting a new one, it just hasn't arrived yet. Okay. It probably is not that he's not telling you anything, it's just we don't know. We have to, like, once it's ordered, when it shows up, it shows up. So but I can, when I get there tomorrow, I can actually, I'll try and check with the front office or front desk, see if there's anything that's been arriving. Because again, Coz is out of town, so I'm in charge, and I want the... Okay, so tomorrow the main focus is gonna be on 1 and 2. I want to give you guys some time to work on 4, even though I really want to work on 4 because it's gonna be like the big ending. But I really need you guys to work on that with the key signature on your own. But I want to work on 1 and 2. 1 needs to sound amazing because that's our like attention getter. So 1's gonna need to sound amazing. 2, I just want to work on the new intro because we haven't played it before because I literally just added it like 3 days ago. Just quietly watching as I'm swamped at work. Ugh, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Peacemaker Season 2 confusing. I just don't have any interest in some of the side, like, DCU stuff. That's why I like how, like, Marvel handled it, at least initially, where they did origin stories for, like, their biggest heroes, the ones that, like, people would be like, oh, yeah, I'll check this out. Even some more than others. But then they brought them all together for the Avengers, made the whole world sound exciting, and then what they did is then they started introducing characters, like the lesser known characters, as like a side character in one of the bigger movies, and then we would get curious about them and be like, okay, now they're making their origin movie or like their first movie, you know? Because we met in Captain America we met Black Panther and Spider-Man for the first time, and then they went off and made their own trilogies or movies. Maybe not trilogies yet for all of them. And stuff, just for example, like that. So what was the question again? Oh, I don't remember. Quinlan. Okay, Quinlan Fabish. Yes, please. Wait, he's out of town. Can I throw a party? No. Has said that the only characters he's not doing origin stories for are Superman and Batman because people more or less already know that. I do enjoy a good origin story. Why? Because I need to focus on making it sound amazing. By the sodas or juice. What you do before 5:30 is not my concern. But 5:30 to 8, we're working perfection. Some people might say perfection is not the goal. That's not me. All right, let's dive into our dailies. Let's start with everything else and build up to Genshin. Juice boxes are good. Concentrate. So the DCU has generally not been a general audience franchise. Super Mario's great, but even that one toes the line. Agree with that, not gonna lie. Now, I'm not saying to expect perfection all the time, but that should be the goal. That should be what you shoot for. And that's not to say don't be disappointed if you don't reach it every time, obviously. But that should be like the aim, and then you can still be happy with it with the results as long as it's an improvement and like making strides toward that goal. Hold on. Oops. I don't know why I claim these still. I haven't played this in like weeks. And I don't know if I will. Let's see here. Back, so you're reading my earlier message. Wait, which one? Was it the origin one? Green juice box, even if there isn't a party. Last year I got so irritated when things weren't perfect. I used to have a little perfectionist in me, but now I could care less. But I still want the band to succeed because I love the final product. Makes me feel good performing to my best. Makes me happy. Dragon, you're right. Guys, I'm buying a box of juice. Gatorade or Takis. Never had a Taki. Sparkle, welcome in. What about Superman towing the line? Oh, that one I don't remember what I said. What did I say? But yeah, they should be shooting for like as wide an audience as possible. Otherwise, like, no one's gonna see these movies, and it's only gonna get less and less over time because of the desire to kind of catch up with everything. Buy a bag of Takis tomorrow. Will you try one? Probably not. How's it going, Sparkle? Welcome in. We're just getting our dailies out of the way. It's gonna be a short stream because I have to wake up at like 7. It's already 11 p.m. By Gatorade. Doesn't the school have Powerade vending machines? Or not anymore? Are those gone? If they are, that's gonna make me feel old. It was like a staple of that back hallway, the south hallway. Memory of Chaos. Let's go. Bum, 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 bum. Powerade, I hate Powerade. No offense. Powerade is so sweet. Yeah, it's more on the sugar side than Gatorade. Gatorade is meant to balance your body's like electrolyte level. Powerade is meant to give you sugar. Not for the sake of sugar. It's meant to, because again, sugar is energy technically. But yes, I think I might be, or that might be the only problem with the DCU. Pretty much nothing has been general audience film or series. A fair bit of swearing and often a lot of violence that borders on being R-rated. See, that's the problem. So with like Marvel, the good thing about how at least Marvel started, I don't know if I would agree that they've been doing the same thing as of late. But the cool thing about how they started, they weren't trying to make superhero movies, if that makes sense. They weren't trying to make superhero movies. They were trying to make genre movies that just happened to feature or star superheroes. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, guys? So, like, for example, Captain America is a period, like a World War II period film, just happens to have Captain America, you know? Ant-Man is a heist film that just happens to be featuring a superhero who can shrink down, you know? Thor is meant to be this this fantasy world that's like, that just happens to be set in, not Earth and feature essentially Norse gods, you know? So again, it's meant to be genre films that just happen to feature or star superheroes. Gunn kind of needs to chill out. To be fair, he's been thrust into a ginormous responsibility. Sponsorabilities. So that's a lot of pressure. So I fall for Gatorade. Like, I don't like sweet things, but I do like sweet things. That just depends on the kind of sweet. Yeah, movies that had superheroes as the setting rather than the genre. Yes. And that's what I liked about how they basically went about making those movies. Because they each had their own distinct kind of like vibe and tone, but they all just happened to exist within the same universe.
Do you want to enter the forgotten? Sure.
Oops, no.
Ask away.
No, go back.
Do you want to enter the forgotten?
All right. Sparkle, how was Millie Astro yesterday? Hope that went well. Let's see, increases ultimate and follow-up attack. Uh-oh. Here for a small bit. Welcome in, Kaizen. I'm just doing my dailies real quick, starting with Memory of Chaos.
That one is hard to persuade. Let's observe first. Turn over this eternal page.
Gonna be audio only. Oh, right now we're just doing dailies. We're doing Memory of Chaos. Make cupcakes like Genshin themed cupcakes for Natlan. How should I decorate them? I know with red. They don't have to be red. Natlan. Actually, one of the things. Oh, I should probably think about this more because I do want to incorporate this. Like, for example, if you guys do section shirts, Natlan. I'm not gonna get into too many spoilers for you, but Natlan is made up of different tribes, specifically 6 different tribes. One for what are they, Chad? Geo. So the children. What's it called? Children of Echoes. What's it called? Is that what it's called? Children of Echoes, which is Geo. So think very earthy, very. Well, Geo's yellow. Then there's it might be spoiler. That's true. Then there is the who came next? Is it the Signs of the Canopy? Probably, or would you guys say People of the Springs? Well, either way. Signs of the Canopy, very dendro, so green. Then you have People of the Springs, which is hydro, because they're on the beach. Everyone's wearing swimsuits. It's hydro's a blue logo. And then you have the Masters of the Nightwind, very purpley and mystical vibes. You have the Flower Feather Clan, which is technically supposed to be what, Pyro? Even though Chaska is Animo. But anyway, it's supposed to be Pyro. But they fly on these birds that essentially breathe fire. And then you have the Collective of Plenty, and they seem to be kind of more electro. There's no pyro. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be pyro, because the birds are pyro. Because they mention. Okay, now we're getting into spoiler territory. So Nancy, your mouse. There was a 7th clan that is essentially got like banned or exiled. Yeah. Individuals can be individuals can be anything, but the tribe itself is supposed to be pyro. Flower Feather Clan is supposed to be pyro. Because if you look at the Saurian for the Flower Feather Clan, it's pyro. But yeah, there's supposed to be a 7th, or there was a 7th. That was the Animo. That basically they got like. What was the lore? Dragon, do you remember? I think they got, like, banned or exiled or something from that land or something. But there was a 7th Animal Clan. Let's be real, Tony Stark did a lot of bad things before he became a POW, and after that he quickly realized he can't be so careless. Yeah, exactly. And again, that's the thing. It's the character growth of these, like, flawed individuals that we can relate to. The thing with the DC universe, and just DC in general, which... Even before all these movies came out, like even before the MCU and even the older DC movies like the Nolan trilogy, before all that, like the DC hero, like the main DC heroes were essentially like perfect gods almost, at least Superman. Whereas even though I grew up more of a DC person, I understood the appeal of the Marvel heroes being like flawed people that people could relate to, you know? Did you guys hear the drama surrounding Yao Guang's VA now? I don't know if any of you guys have kept up with that. Well, I love the MCU interpretation of Iron Man. His character arc throughout the franchise was a redemption story, something I really, yeah. Tribes are based on various indigenous people from different places, like Springs as well. Yeah, correct. Grand Stark was still incredibly big-headed and still got things wrong as a result. Or again, character flaws, inherent character flaws, which is good storytelling, or at least a good premise. By the end, I think you got it right. Going to see how many people are in each section. I'm going to buy boxed cupcake, cook them, and decorate them for either like the first or last day of camp. One of the things I want to do, so maybe you might want to wait till I figure this, is that before you guys decide on your like section T-shirts and all that, I want each section, or maybe we might have to combine some sections. Each section is basically going to choose a tribe or an element, you know. So like this group is like the people of the springs, so they're like the hydro section, you know. And then this section is gonna be the geo section, you know. And there's exception to his lore. Again, individuals can vary. Now, many of them do match, but they can vary. The wiki says Flower Feather Clan is Pyro. Yeah, again, the Flower Feather Clan is supposed to be Pyro. If you look at their Saurian, they're Pyro. Dragon, I don't know if you can pull up what's supposed to be the 7th clan or 7th tribe, because there is lore behind that. What happened with Yao Guang? It's not Yao Guang, it's their VA, because their VA is now also Vesna? Veshna? I don't know how to say it. But anyway, Veshna's not even out, but now there's like big drama because apparently apparently they were collabing with a streamer, and they were kind of like they were on like a voice call or something while the streamer was playing Genshin. And apparently while Kanich was speaking, the VA would be then like making sounds or making coughs or sneezes, because basically they just don't like Kanich's VA. So, and then a lot of people are like, that's very unprofessional, blah 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 blah. And so now people have opinions as to whether or not like a person can have opinions about not liking another VA, or if they do, should it be made public like that, or should they be basically bad mouthing them behind or publicly as opposed to behind the scenes, yada yada yada. Bring back the SAG thing. I don't know if it's about that specific. I think that's what people assumed it was. I don't know if that's actually what it is specifically, but it was specifically about Kaniche. Like whenever they had lines in the game, then the VA that was on the voice call would start like either coughing or sneezing or saying or making sounds real loud, or I don't know. Some of the comic book artist said, let's see, find Superman boring because the character always does the right thing and always says the right stuff and also can spin the world on his finger. It isn't having powers that makes you a hero, it's the choice you make along the way. Exactly, and that's part of the whole thing between, if you guys remember Spider-Man and Homecoming? That was the whole thing that Tony said to Peter. Wiki page for the end. Thank you, Dragon. Yeah. The Marauders. That's what it was. Yes. It's a big part of what finally got some people fired. Yeah, people have been calling for her, Sylvesna and Yao Guang's VA to be fired. I think it's still a little premature to call for that as a first resort, but it's getting kind of heated. Ooh, actually, I think we might keep these teams. Let's see how we do with just keeping the teams. This is not ideal, but did Milliastra today as well. How'd it go? Did you get some rewards? I haven't done a lot of Milliastra except for when they give us specifically primagers. To make the character a spawn, we co-founded Image Comics. Specifically made Spawn to be a flawed character because it makes the character more interesting. Yeah. If the character will ever get it right. I hadn't heard about this at all, but to be fair, I haven't been super active on the internet lately. This popped up. When did this pop up? Maybe in the last like 2 days. You're loading a web page to see if Big Brother 28 cast has been announced. Nice. You've been collecting your dailies at least? This is going to be a very short stream, chat, because I have to wake up at 7 and it's already 11:15. Being announced in less than 12 hours, but I think it's the closest they've cut it. The show starts in a couple days. Yeah, this stream literally might just be dailies plus the thing that Dragon wants me to see. Because it's already kind of late. Again, I have to wake up at around 7. I probably have the funeral's probably going to be taking me until, because it includes a lunch afterwards. I would imagine until about, I probably will get home around 3, at which point I probably will just head right to work, because I gotta copy stuff and organize some stuff. But luckily I've sorted the parts, so now I'm just gonna put like, these are all the flute parts, these are all the clarinet parts, these are all the saxophone parts, just put it all together. Great, but they're often pretty hard to relate to, yeah. Again, I grew up more of a DC person. I think it's kind of hard to grow up and not know Superman or Batman and stuff like that. Especially when, like, if you talk about movies, all the ones that existed back then, at least the ones that were famous enough for, like, general public, were Christopher Reeve, or the countless Batman films or attempts in the like 80s and 90s. We had Keaton, we had who else we had? Kilmer, Clooney. I think we had Clooney. And then we had the Nolan films. I didn't sleep last night, so I had to sleep this morning for what little I could. Like the new Supergirl movie. I can't divulge the details, but this interpretation is pretty close to the sort of hero I would be. We have the doctor's office at 6 a.m. for a blood draw, which meant fasting, which is super hard because and on something that makes me super dehydrated all the time. Really. You know what Destiny told me? To never skip a Void Hunter. I mean, yeah, I generally go for Void Hunters, but that's because, like, in Genshin, when I started Genshin, I basically was going for Archons. That wasn't the original intent, but because my first one was Farina, and then I was like, okay, well, now who can replace my Rosaria? And chat was like, all right, go for Raiden. At that point, my first two limited characters were Archons. I was like, all right, well, why don't I just go for all the Archons? And then when I started ZZZ, I was like, okay, what are the equivalents of Archons? And everyone's like, oh, Void Hunters. So I was like, okay, I'll go for all the Void Hunters. Oh, speaking of that, I was like, because again, I was at this wake for like 7 hours today. I was actually thinking, I was going through, okay, I was like, okay, day 1 of when we expect Anastasia to release, I will have, well, assuming I don't spend any more pulls until then, I would have 605-ish pulls. So let's say I set aside exactly enough to get her. Okay, how much do I have left? Well, I'm also pulling for Raiden, so I subtracted exactly enough to get them. How much do I have left? Because now I have to decide, okay, let's assume that I might pull for another character between now and Anastasia. Like, I don't know who it'd be. I don't know which of the characters that are coming out are going to be like, oh, because like, none of them are like, aside from the Saritsa herself, none of them are like, oh, this character looks amazing just from the design alone that I'm going to pull from no matter what. Obviously, I'll have to get to know the characters. But there's none that are like, ooh, I want to get this character on the first run right away. Now, there are some that might be like, oh, hey, this is going to work well with Sandrone, or oh, hey, this is going to work well with Stellar Reactions, whatever they all are. But it's not said like Anastasia. I think that's a more of a Western pronunciation. There was a video that was going around. Now, I don't know if it was all like accurate, but it was basically a Russian speaker that like made a video on like TikTok or Instagram or whatever. And they were like, oh, here's how you pronounce all these names. Like, for example, now that being said, like I said, I don't know if this is all accurate because, again, it ultimately comes down to what Hoyoverse and like the voice director ultimately go with. For example, this Russian speaker said the name is not Danica, like most people assumed. They said it was Denitsa or something like that, Denitsa. But even though that's it might be how you might pronounce it in like Russian, if you look at how if you look at how the game spells the name in Russian, it's said with a K sound, Danica, as opposed to Denitsa. Apparently, George Clooney is so apologetic about his Batman movie that when people tell him they saw it in cinemas all these years ago, he refunds them right out of his own pocket. I don't know how fully accurate that is. I'm sure it's happened on a couple occasions. I don't know if he would always do that, though. Is it aren't or are collecting Emanators in HSR? I have some. I don't know who they all are, but didn't watch the trailer or live stream, so I don't know which one they went with. They didn't. They haven't said the name. Be back later. I mean, Hoyo changes name pronunciations a lot, and Sumeru VAs got harassed by fans after Hoyo instructed them to pronounce names wrong, even if they wanted to do the accurate ones. Happened to people who had to say Tainari's name. How was it supposed to be? Tainari's how they say it now. Okay, where was I?
You. Me. Hilarious. All's revealed in divine. Fateful clouds scatter. Intentionally feeding. Unlimited firepower. A bad omen. Don't thank me.
I was gonna skip Remiel in place of a potential stunner. Yeah, I think I've gotten all the Void Hunters. I don't know if I've gotten all the Emanators. I don't even know who all the Emanators are. Like, in Genshin, it's very easy to know who the Archons are, because it's like one per region. And it's like... they're the like the ruler, so to speak, of each region.
Blessing in disguise. Observe the heavens with my divinations.
Yeah, Yao Guang's VA is Vestas.
Explosive start.
Off the top of my head, Robin Sunday Akron, the Herta Evernight, and all the other Arbiter Generals. Could be others I'm forgetting. Okay, see, I didn't even know all of those were Emanators, but I do have all of them at this point. Some of them I didn't get until reruns. Like Sunday and Evernight. But the rest of them I think I got on the first run. Well, maybe not the Akron one. I don't think I was playing yet. But eventually I did. The Jingyuan? Not yet. That might be one I'm missing then. Sparkle and Sample are both possible. We don't know which one it is. Are they? Can they not both be, or no? Yeah. See, like I said, I don't know offhand who all the Emanators are, but it's very easy to know who the Archons are in Genshin.
Best of luck. An explosive start.
Either that or just pay attention more. Like I know who all the Archons are. And again, eventually I was like, oh, now we should maybe start going for the Harbingers. So it's easy to know who the Harbingers are. You know, one of them was, we thought Sparkle, but apparently there's people who think they meant Sampo. Okay. So, but one and only one of those two, like they can't both be? That's my question. Is there a chance they both are? 28 remaining cycles. Yeah, we absolutely have this. Yeah. Oh wait, no, this is the hard one where they have like 3 battles. Oh no. I don't know if I have the teams for 3 of them. I really need my Firefly team to be usable. Now I'm Elation.
Lena, turn over this eternal pain.
Hey.
Emerge from your cocoon.
We just know that Boot Hill met with an Emanator of Elation at Penacony, and both were the candidates. Oh, okay.
May death protect us.
Have some sunshine. Dispel the gloom.
So one of them for sure is what you're saying. But is there any chance both can be? But at least from that example, one of them for sure is. So basically, at least one of those two is for sure an Emanator.
May death protect us.
As you wish. Rise and shine.
Yeah, this stream's probably just the dailies plus the one thing Dragon wanted me to see. Tomorrow's stream, we're doing the Fae stuff. Although tomorrow I can stay up late again. I don't have to wake up early Wednesday, thankfully. So we'll see if we have time for something.
Protect us.
Unless they randomly retcon it, one of them is where Sparkle's mask is if you want to view her mask as a different entity from her, which it seemingly is now. Okay. But just so I'm clear, it could be 2, both of them, right? It's just that right now there's no evidence for it. What I'm saying is that there's no evidence against it, right? So, okay, so definitely for sure one of them is. Both could be, but they haven't hinted at it in anything. Okay, that's just what I wanted to clarify. So for sure one of them is, possibly both, but again, there's no evidence for that, but also no evidence against it. Yeah, see, Emily is like, that's just something that's at least in my head, it's never been easy to remember like which ones are, which ones aren't, and like who is and whatnot. Whereas, like I said, Genshin's they're very faction or role based. Like we know who the Archons are, we know who the Harbingers are, you know, we know who the 7 sovereigns are. Well, we don't know who they are, but like we know that there's a group called the Sovereigns. We got a 5-star sample eventually, as we know he's a big player for the Belobog. Wait, when we go back to Belobog, that was like the one story I actually liked the ending of. I'm gonna set that up as being the reason he took his mask back. Okay. Is that supposed to happen like this year, or is that like in the future? Haven't gone back yet, but we will. Oh, Sparkle, if you need more help with exploration, if you don't mind, that'll have to be they'll have to wait till tomorrow, because I do have to sleep early today and wake up at like 7. Like last night, okay, so usually I try and get to bed by 4. But usually in these summer months especially, even if I'm in bed, sometimes I don't fall asleep until after like 5 or even 6 o'clock. But last night I was like definitely in bed, I think by like 2 maybe? Definitely by 3. I think I was falling in and out of sleep. I may have been playing Persona 4 Golden. I was falling in and out of sleep, and when I remember dropping my Switch 2, I was like, oh, I probably should actually probably sleep. This is in the future. We don't know when. We expected it in 3.x, but we were wrong. This was set up back in 2.1. Okay. It would be looking forward to a Belobog return. I will say that, like, all the Star Rail, like, I guess, planets or chapters, or what do you want to call them, they've all been intriguing when they kind of, like, pitch the idea and set them up and all that stuff. I just feel like none of them have stuck the landing as well as Belobog has. I still enjoy the story. It's just, like, they have all this build-up. It's just the payoff just never kind of reaches the same high anymore. Which, for all the yapping this game does compared to the other Hoyo games, it feels like, ugh, all that build-up for this or that. Basically, while Balabog is about to be potentially wiped out and Sampo took his mask, didn't we just save that world from, like, complete freezing over? We don't know. Let's see. Wiped out and Sampo took his mask back to do something about it. On return, we're expecting XPs or maybe a Wendy. And the Orphan Twins. Wait, who are the Orphan Twins? I hope it's a 5-star Serval. She deserves it. Who's Serval's VA and what do they voice in the other games? I know, like, this has come up like a couple times recently. Serval VA HSR. Natalie Von Sistine. And what do they voice in the other games, other Hoyo games? Because I feel like it's come up. Of course, the page isn't loading. Zenless and Zero. She is Promia. And she is not in Genshin yet. Okay, or is she? Hold on. Is she in Stage 9 maybe? We didn't stop everything that's happening in Balabog, we just stopped it from ending immediately. Okay, so she is Promia, Serval, and Danitza, or Danica. That's what it was. That's why her name came up recently, because she announced that she's going to be Danica or Danitza. Doesn't list her for Genshin yet. Yeah, because it's not out yet. But apparently she did confirm that she is Danica Danitza. Guys, and remind me later to send you the video. Again, we don't know if it's all going to be correct, but it is a Russian-speaking person speaking the Russian names. Make sure you're not looking at screen, guys. Spoilers. Major spoilers. Enhance. That's all. Go. If any team doesn't do well, it's probably the Firefly team here. Good point for Denitsa at some point then. Natalie Van Sistine. Yeah, Serval, Promia, and Denitsa, or Danica. Again, the Russian-speaking person pronounced it as Denitsa, which is how you would pronounce it in Russian. However, Genshin's Russian spelling of the name uses the K sound, so Danica. So we'll see. The game will probably pronounce it Danica. Assuming she's 4-star like we think. Every time I look at that list, I'm starting to doubt my assumptions on the 4-stars again, but I don't know. We'll see. There's no one else that seems like they'd be a 4-star. Of course, that's it could be the case that they give us more 4-stars later on that just haven't been introduced because they're not involved in the Archon quest. Like, for example, we got Prune. Didn't know about them until, like, recently. I don't think Aoife was in their Natlan trailer. So, we can get 4-stars later. Just of the ones that we've seen from the Snezhnaya video, if we have to assume 3 4-stars, the 3 that we said were most likely. Is Musket Boy and Misha 2.0 not a perfect 4-star material? If I had to pick 3 4-stars from the video, it would be those 2 plus Denitsa. But I've seen arguments suggesting that Mitya, which sounds like Misha, Mitya looks like they could be a 5-star, and they've given reasons, yada yada yada. That's why, like, every time I look at my list, I'm like, now I'm not so sure. Making me second guess myself, guys. But as for Alosha, they're almost certainly the 3 4-star because they've already been drip marketed after Odette, like the same night as Odette, just a few hours later. So to me, that screams 3 4-star, or at least 7.0 4-star. Boy has to be 4-star because I think Odette isn't. Yeah, no, Odette is absolutely not going to be. She's got a stellar linchpin. Yeah, we're doing Memory of Chaos, so that's why HSR is taking longer than usual. I gotta do my ZZZ dailies, Genshin dailies, and then the one thing that Dragon wanted me to look at in the new area. Yeah, so he is 100% is. Also, Hugh apparently was shown in a previous trailer, like briefly, but clearly. Like, we didn't know anything about them at the time. We were just like, hey, that's the person from the other trailer. Now we have a name. But yeah, we'll see about Mitya and Danica. Again, if I had to pick 3 4-stars, those seem like the most likely candidates. But I can understand some of the arguments that people are making for it, especially Mitya. If any one of those 3 is not a 4-star, based on what I've heard argument-wise from people, I think Mitya is probably the one that might not be. But again, we'll find out, I guess. An old live stream that I didn't watch. We talked about that before Snezhnaya cast was shown. See, I don't even remember talking about it all that much. I remember him being in. I remember that character being in the video, but they were shown so little that I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Yeah, it looks like the one who would be the easiest 4-star based on the cards. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I just heard a lot of arguments as to why they're not. But honestly, you could make the same. You can make similar arguments for Denitsa as well, Danica, whatever. More complex than the card made them look. My eye got off to... Wait. My eye got off to go get a snack. I was hungry. I'm waking up at 7 and it's 11:30, I probably shouldn't get a snack anymore today, but I am kind of hungry. Man, I was at awake from, I had to leave at 1 and I was there from like 2 till 8. So my quote-unquote dinner was just swinging by the lounge every couple hours and grabbing a slice of pizza. Oh, hey, thank you for the redeem. There was a cat that really was gone. Tar, tar, Jack the Ashton's greatest love machine. It was a shame how he carried on. Cheez-Its are bomb. You remind me of my friend Grant from high school. He was a trombonist. He was extremely smart. Well, we both took Calc 2, AP Calc BC when we were juniors, and then in senior year, they let him leave, I think 1 period or 2 periods early so that he could take Calc 3 at Moraine. Song, let's make this into a pep tune. I mean, I'm sure it's an existing song. Someone just put Genshin words to it. That's all. Super Rig Team is still holding on. Yeah, barely. But yeah, I mean, they're not doing too bad. They're not doing much damage as compared to like the other teams in the other battles. But the fact that they're like hanging in there is promising. We just need more Eidolons on Firefly. Because we have Dahlia. I forget also if this team needs anyone else or if like Stell's supposed to get replaced or something, or Gallagher. Oh wait, no, instead of Gallagher we were supposed to get Linkshaw. And then instead of Stell we wanted Fugue, right? I think it was Fugue. So those are potential rerun characters I might want to get. And then we need Eidolons for Firefly. For a buff. $2 so I can play Time Stranger on Switch. Next Switch stream will be on Thursday. We're going to be playing Persona 3. Bad news. I didn't save. So I'll have to replay a good chunk of what we did yesterday. Firefly team, I think now is Firefly, Linkshaw, Dahlia, Few. Yeah, basically those two. I'm pretty sure this is the wrong Stell as well. I wish you could like set it so like if you have like these teams like pre-saved and set up, you could be like, okay, this team is gonna use this Stell and this team is gonna use this other Stell, like because like she has different paths. I don't want to have to go. I want to be able to like just go in, like pick my team and go. I don't want to have to be like, okay, which path did I use again? Which one? So yeah, I know she has the hat. It's just that the fact that I have to go in every time and change it is annoying. Might be late to rehearsal tomorrow because I have to go to the chiropractor's. Bring your reed and then like wet it on the drive over. Don't walk this time. I know it's not like a heat wave like last week, but don't walk this time. Had to go to the chiropractor. Is it because you walked to rehearsal last time in 95-degree heat? Bum, bum, bum. You said pretty sure it's the wrong Stell since I can't see. I was trying to help confirm one way or another. Oh, okay. No, I know which Stell goes with this team, and this is not her. Usually I just say pretty sure because like I don't want to. I never like saying absolutes because like, especially when we're trying to remember things. Even if I'm fairly confident I am remembering correctly, there's always a good chance I'm wrong, especially if I haven't like recalled that information in a while. So I like to not be absolute when I say things. I'd rather be like, oh, I guess I was right. Why didn't you change the path? Because the team was there and it takes extra clicks to remember things and change them. Lifting my indoor base kind of inside, tripped, and it hit my back foot hard. was in the case. Oof. Back pain since 2 years ago, but it got worse, and it's also for me. Okay. Alright, well, do what you gotta do. Yeah, if you're like a little late, that's no big deal. But like I said, if you can bring your reed with you and wet it on the ride over, you can save a little bit of time. Because even once you're ready, as a clarinet player, you know the reed needs a little bit of extra time. So, just remember, nice pun. And there goes Stell.
My friends, indulge yourselves.
Alright, we're gonna just stop the battle because we'll have to do level 12. Claim all my rewards. Look at the 720 stellar jades. Was intentional. Oops, hang on, I need more. Let's go consume Trailblaze power. Oh yeah, we're farming for Reen now. Boo, I know, I need a stronger team. Or just at least the proper Stell. After this, we'll do CZZ dailies, Genshin dailies, then the thing that Dragon wanted me to see, and then I'm going to sleep. So unless you guys want to play Words on stream for like 7 hours, we'll have to end the stream there. 7:20. Yeah, if I kept going, I probably could have maybe gotten a little bit more, but I'll just wait till I have a better team. You have strong teams. The problem is a lot of them overlap. Usually in the case of like a sustain or a healer. Go to physical therapy for probably 3 months every Wednesday. So basically during Martian season. Wow, it's not even midnight here and Suzushi's already streaming. Mono Remembrance, Elation, Finon. I think I took the whatever light cone I had on Finon off them and put them. Maybe I put it on Firefly. I don't know, because I think at the moment they currently share light cones. Stellar skills or soap shoes, whichever you want to hear. Yes, so. See what the chiropractor says, and then I go off there. You go off there? Like you yell at them? Go off on them.
Test of luck. An explosive start.
Firefly team is probably a lot weaker than those teams, since if I recall, you're E0 and are missing. Yes, correct. Wearing either, or haven't been wearing my braces when I'm already required. Then why don't you wear them? Make good choices. No, I meant I'll listen to what they tell me, sadly. Getting Evernights, but I'm not getting Castris. I don't want to accidentally build that team. How come? Don't wear my back or knee brace. Make Good choices. Alright, let's claim all this. And then move on to ZZZ dailies. Like I said, I have to get this sleep. I have a long day tomorrow. I don't know if I even have time to like nap between the funeral and rehearsal because I have to get to work and make these copies. I have one of each music part right now. I have to make copies for every player. I won't last long, so I'll have to leave soon. Okay, I'm gonna try and get through everything as quickly as I can. Okay, so I have 19. Oh, we have a standard poll. Chat, wish me luck. Sabotaging your... hold on. What's my pity on standard? 11. This stream is brought to you by the number 11. All right, let's pull. So this will be 12. Look at our number of Sour Jades. Leet. 13337. All right, here we go. Number 12. Come on. Early gold. Come on. Nope. Don't care for a team like that. Okay. It is one of my better teams. It's not my... Well, it was my best team for a while. At least the one that I use most often. Now my Elation team does really well. It's overused. I don't mind if a team's overused as long as it works well for me. Also, I finished the first act of Fontaine. Nice. Man, if I could just go back and like save my VODs from when I played through Fontaine. Because I played through Fontaine's Arc Quest in 2 days. I don't have any of those VODs from that week. That was a crazy week. Sumeru in 3 days. Fontaine in 2. The remainder of Inazuma, at least, in like a day or 2 or whatever. Evernight's nerfed a lot by not having casts, but Robin could change that. Oh, the new Robin? Or just like Robin, existing Robin with like a buff or something? Or what? Alright, 19 plus... I gotta do some math, guys. 35, so 54... So I have 144 polls. Oh, great. We're getting closer back to trendline on Star, because I had fallen quite a bit behind. So yesterday I was 8 behind. Now we're only 4 behind. ZZZ dailies. Let's go. Could be a 4th remembrance for that team. New Robin, like Swimsuit one. I don't really want to go for either of the new ones, because they're just the same characters but with a skin. But we'll see how they work for teams. How many buffs are based on how many elations there are. Yeah, Star Rail's doing a lot of that where we're getting like, we're just getting like alts of existing characters. I'd rather have new characters. Come on. Like, what's the point of having different paths for existing characters, but also different, or also the same characters over and over? Like, pick one. It's not character skin. I know that. But the problem is, like, for me, it's confusing. Like, how sometimes it's just a new path on the same character that we already have, whereas now it's like, okay, new character, just like it's like a Dan Heng kind of thing now. And so I'm like, well, what's the point? It's so confusing. Let's go get some coffee here. Path changing is a thing for Stell and March only. It's lower stuff. That still doesn't make sense to me. Why can't it be... Oops, hold on. Why can't it be the same character? Because it's literally the same character. Path shifting is specifically receiving new abilities from Eons. Move. Trying to rent out videotapes. I really need to do the hangout things where we can get more people helping to sell stuff. Right now it's just Travis and Bangbu 18. So in ZZZ, we're probably only gaining 1 pull. We are going to be doing ZZZ Wednesday. Because there's a couple events here that are going to be ending soon. So might as well just get those out of the way. Didn't expect to be a summer variant. Yeah, I had no expectation there either. So that makes it harder for me to predict stuff for that game. Because it's like, are we getting a new character? Or are we just getting a new version of an old character? Like Genshin and ZZ, I'm going to be completely wrong on a lot of these predictions. But I have fun trying to look for patterns, recognize patterns in previous banners. And be like, okay, now based on that, here's what I think is going to happen for this banner and that banner. With Star Rail, it's like, how the heck am I supposed to figure that out? As to alts, don't have to be Eon based. Alts were coming, but they were leaked. Yeah, but I don't pay attention to leaks. I look for patterns. And sure, yeah, now that we have precedent of like several characters getting like new alts, and it's like, okay, well, I guess that's the start of a pattern now. But at the same time, it's like, how would I have known this ahead of time? Like prior to Dan Hong, we didn't really have that before, but now we got. Does Evernight count? I think she counts, right? But now we got Robin. We got Himiko, we got Aventurine, we got Blade, we got Silverwolf. Evernight counts, yeah. So you just hate surprises? Yes. I like predictability. As someone who likes strategy games, I don't see why it's a surprise that I don't like surprises.
I don't miss. Unruly rascal. Feeling cold.
Getting Robin, Summeretto. If I were to get either of them, they're the one that I maybe want to get. But again, I don't know if I want to. Like if they work well with the teams that I either have or want to build, I'll think about it. I have pulls. Right now, we know we're getting Himiko. We know we're going to try for Reen because they're limited, and they're Light Cone because it's limited. But beyond that, we should still have pulls. But I also would probably want to prioritize Nilux and maybe even Pearl before going for these summer variants. Do we think Pearl and Nilux would be sooner or like toward the end of the year? Like, do we think they're more likely to be like 4.6 or they were more likely to be 4.8? You know what I mean? If you guys had a guess, if you had to bet money, what would you guys think would be more likely? Or even, do you think they might not even be in the 4.x? I don't want to be predictable. They're heavily incentivized to be against it. Unpredictably means profit. We don't know. I can't even speculate because I don't know if they're close to wrapping up story for Point Acadia. As I'm so far behind, I couldn't tell on the Asheville patch still. Bum 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 ba da dum. Ooh, which notorious hunt should I do? I don't know if they do this right now. Tried doing a flip. I fell. Don't hurt yourself. Do your flips after marching season.
A wise choice.
Okay, how many do I have? 15, no standard pulls. It's 46, so 61. I had the carpet, Florida's carpet. That is not invincible. 6,800 plus 21,150 divided by 160 plus 61. We have 235, so yes, we only gained 1 pull. Is anyone pulling for Norma or Suna tomorrow? Or wait, is it tomorrow? Or is it this week? Let me check the banner. 1 day, 12 hours, so it's not tomorrow. It is the 8th. On to Genshin. Dailies. Again, once I'm done with the dailies, we're probably just doing the one thing that Dragon wanted me to do and then calling in tonight. Ipa's gonna die, so I'm gonna say goodbye. Also, alts are good as they can make things make more sense. And, characters like Sparkle should have always been Elation, and Black Swan Remembrance only weren't because those paths didn't exist. I'm gonna guess. Wait, does Black Swan have an alt? Nope. Make good choices, Nancy. Don't know. Nancy might have a magic carpet. I can show you the world. Shining, shimmering, splendid. She'll probably get one when she returns. Oh yeah, switch the controller. Controller.
Let's fly.
Did I do my weekly bosses last week? Oops. Wait, I think I did at least a Torre.
Ad Astra.
Mostly
Thank you
because
for completing
Kaizen wanted me to
today's
defeat
commissions.
them with
Here is your
Sandrone.
Ad Astra.
It's a new week. Didn't fall this time. Kaizen getting one of the SPs.
This realm is.
Don't encourage this.
If you ever have any questions.
Celebrating achievements. Celebrating bad choices. All right. How much do I have? Oops. Calm down, bro. Bro. What's up, bro? Okay. So, Dragon, what did you want me to see?
Add Astra.
I do more of these Valiant Chronicles. I want the Prima Gems. I have to apparently do some quests. Give me Prima Gems. In the new area, go to the Golden Hall in the bottom left. Let me switch on recording. We're also going to switch to Sandrone, just because. So I'm being told that Sandrone can... Because even though she has to reset her flying and land, apparently you can do it over the water.
I'd have lost myself.
Hold on, actually I want to try this out real fast. But the thing is, when you reset it, you can't be pushing the control stick in any direction, I think. I think that's what I heard. Ice bridge with her? Not even that. Hold on.
How tiresome. Take a break.
Yeah, you just have to not push the. Cause look, I'm gonna let go of the control stick. When her 6 seconds ends, she just stands on the water. What? So okay, so we're recording. You said new area. Wow, right? She stands on the water for a few seconds. Do you think that's a bug? She falls in eventually, but the fact that you can just let go when you know it's about to end, you have to let go. Because if I push forward while doing that, I think it doesn't work. That's got to be an oversight, right?
How tiresome.
See, let's try. Let's see if I can do it while pushing forward, and I just press it again. Yeah, see, she falls right in. So if you know it's about to end, or if you just wait, and then she ends her flying, she stands on the water. That could be really useful. But again, I don't know if that's supposed to be like that. That could be something they patch. But okay, you said new area, go to the Golden Hall in the bottom left. Golden Hall? Bubble pool. Where's the Golden Hall? This thing? Oh, I haven't gone there yet. I have to go here. And then here. Please don't pet. Drizzle, welcome in. I hope they don't, because that looked pretty cool. I guess we're going this one. Ungian's Circle. Nope. We want to go to the Archeolune Storm Research Center. Or maybe that's where we go. I don't know. Let's find out. I've yet to try it myself, but I love that it's thing. Yeah, well, I mean, you guys just saw me try it. So as long as when her flying ends, you cannot be pushing in any direction on the control stick, or if you use keyboard, you can't be pushing on the directional buttons or whatever, or whichever the keys are, so that she stands on the water, and you can just immediately go back to flying again. But if you push in any direction, she will fall into the water. Yeah. I don't know, that inconsistency makes it feel like it's not supposed to be like that, and it's probably going to get patched. But if they keep that, that would be fantastic. Because then she replaces not only Chaska, but also Farina. As far as, like, going over water. Look at us flying. Ventrina SP, I think, is a good elation support. Yeah, see, like I said, I don't intend to go for either of them, but if they work well on some teams that I might want to build, then it's a maybe. We'll see. I think a lot of it, too, is going to depend on when... Like, if Aventurine is going to be in Phase 2, I might wait till the special program to make a decision on Aventurine. I think we're kind of... We basically just have to choose if we're going for Robin or not, but with Aventurine being Phase 2, we might wait to see if Pearl and or Nilux comes in the patch after. Has the standing animation that you interrupt when you move similar to idle animations? Possibly, yeah. Oh no, we have to make a pit stop here. Okay, so now I have to go here. Archeoloon Storm Research Center. Ever doing a flip again? I told you. But yeah, I would love if we can keep that for Sandrone. Because again, then she would replace both Chaska and Farina as far as traversing over like water. Usually with Farina, I have to make sure I pay attention and keep using your skill before it expires. And then with Chaska, I usually have to, because she can't fly forever. So what I usually do is I go somewhere up high, fly out as far as I can, and hope I can float the rest of the way. Alright, I did it once, but as I tried to keep practicing and I fell. Oh yeah, Nancy, don't look at the screen. Chest. Did unlock that. Yeah, it's my first time, because I haven't done really exploration in this area aside from what's part of the world quest. Land of Raging Storms. There was one time I was like talking to a friend. I was like, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm at the Lake of Rage. He's like, what are you talking about? And why does that sound so awesome? And I'm like, it's probably because you didn't realize Lake of Rage is from Pokemon Gold. You're recording? Yes, I am. Okay, now I have to make my way over here somewhere. I don't know. Wait, there's no little transport thingy. Alright, I guess we'll just make our way this way. Let me grab these, because why not? I wonder who these are going to be for. Lunoculus. Do I want to go down or up? Stay up. Oh no, the thing's hurting me.
Pick up the pace.
Because there's no thing on the map that says like it's a high-speed transport or whatever. Should I stay above or go into the research center? I have to decide this ahead of time because like the world damages me here because of the high concentration of like lunar energy or whatever. Anyone? No? That's just our waypoints, not signs that you can move. Oh. Well, still though, because I have to get over here to go over here. Should I stay up or go down? I think it's a puzzle you have to do. Down or up? That's my, because I gotta sleep, guys. I mean, we could maybe just do this another time too. Because it's past midnight, I have to wake up in 6.5 hours. If it's a puzzle, we might have to wait on this. Right where you are.
Take a break.
There's no puzzle here. I mean, there's a enemy there. There's a Lunoculus over here. Alright, tell you what, we'll do this another time. I need to get to sleep. It's past midnight already. Going down? Okay, I will do that next time then. Alright, we'll have to do this next time. I think it's down. Okay. But it is past midnight. I gotta go. Tomorrow's stream will also be a late start, but I can go later. You're out. All right, no worries, Sparkle. Yeah, I gotta head out too. But we'll be back tomorrow. I am gonna do a face stream tomorrow for the new banner and Tempest Trials and whatnot. And then if we want, we can maybe do the Genshin exploration that I was hoping to do today. And maybe some of the event games. But until then, chat. Let's send you to Utopia. They rated us a couple days ago. Let's send the favor back. They're playing Genshin right now. What are they doing? They're doing... They said gotcha grind. I don't know what that means. I know what that means. I don't know what they're playing right now. But they are playing as Shan Yun, and they're in Mondstadt, so... Alright. If you're subbed, copy the Hyperpies. If you're not subbed, redeem for the Hildebonk emote and use the old sub-ray command. And if you're not subbed and don't have channel points, use the regular ray command. Alright. And then, as usual, follow on social media, join the Discord. Sorry for the abrupt end of stream, guys, but I do have to get to sleep. But we'll be back on tomorrow. Fade starts if we have time after we will have time. We can switch to Genshin if we want. But you guys have a good one. Thanks for hanging out today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll save this thing for when I can do it on stream for you guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Called back to the Zeppeljärny Palace again? Ugh, seriously. What's the point in all these endless meetings? I like music. In fact, I've taught myself to play many different instruments. You don't believe me? Find me a piano, and I'll show you a thing or two.